checking. Ow, how's that burn? Cool, and we're good.
Okay. What's up, Feasters, and welcome back to another great episode of the Anime Feast. I'm Dominique, and with me, as always, we have our wonderful co-host, Tuwan.
What's up? Kaizoku Oni Oriwanaru. You know, say the thing.
Tell the people what you said.
I am going to be king of the pirates.
Now I have to go find Luffy and tell him to kick your ass because he tried to take his position.
He trying to get Luffy, bro.
And Matthew.
What up, everybody? I am not trying to be Luffy, for the record.
Nah, he likes to be third place. Look at his shirt.
Oh, first in my heart.
First, we'd like to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It is a wonderful Father's Day. Also, Happy Juneteenth to all my brothers and sisters out there in the world. What a good time for us to be here to talk, support our podcast. But yeah, guys, the raid of Onigashima has come to an end. We are now. Oh, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, the raid has come to an end. It has been a long fought battle, many years in Wano, many years of just the raid. Lots of amazing fights. Some actual deaths this time. You know, we don't always see a death in a big battle in One Piece, but this time we got some. We can discuss those and if they were or were not important in a bit. Some power-ups, some letdowns, all kind of things happen. And so let's kind of talk about it, you know? We will just kind of from beginning to end, you know, the thoughts. I know there were some YouTubers out there, one in particular that was confident the raid would fail. I think every week he had posted that the raid was still going to fail. And while the rest of the world kind of laughed at it, and Oda proved that wasn't going to be the case. We were going to get a successful raid. Well, I guess how successful can you really say it was, you know? So yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, to start, we got to see Kinemon's, you know, Devil Fruit sneaking everyone in, and the whole plan of Law sneaking some around the back. Some people are going to go right through the pleasure hall. Some people are going to go left through the main entrance. Everyone's supposed to just stay beast pirate, stay quiet, stay sneaky. And the first motherfucker to blow cover is none other than our captain.
He's like, we need to raid very quietly. We need to sneak in there, taken by surprise. Nope, just knock on the door.
Yeah, I mean, you know how Luffy is. If you upset him, if you talk about disrespectfully those who are his friends, or in this case, waste food. And the thing is, and it wasn't even that it wasted food because we know like Sanji doesn't like people wasting food, right? Luffy doesn't care too much, but when it's food, then he knows that the people, his friends, are starving because they can't eat, and they were so happy about that one cup of red bean soup that they could get, and then you're like, this shit's disgusting, and you pour it all out, causes Luffy to start beating people's ass and breaking the skies. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny, especially because like Killer and them were already just like Killer and Kid were walking away like, just ignore him, we don't know him, just ignore him, like let him do that, and Zoro cutting down towers to try to get to Luffy, and then being like, Luffy, you're supposed to keep cover, and Luffy's like, you're one to talk, cut down a fucking tower.
God, they're just two peas in a pod of just obliviousness to what's going on and how they need to be.
Oh
But
man.
when you're top shit, you can do that. You can just run up on in there. I mean, that's been Luffy since meeting Law, essentially. It's like, oh, we're going to do this. Okay. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. It sounds more fun. So,
Yeah, that's. But I mean, so like with the start of it, obviously, what you guys think were your first impressions with the raid of Onigashima? Like not knowing how it went, but how do you think it was going to go? Like super easy? Did the matchups happen you thought were gonna happen? Like, what were your first thoughts?
First thoughts, I guess we all predicted that King was going to face Zoro, Queen was going to face Sanji, but how it actually turned out to be, like, they didn't go right away to those fights, and I thought he was going to do right there. But like first thing that happened, Sanji went to Black Maria because he smelled something nice, and which was her perfume, trying to lure Sanji actually, and was part of her plan. But even when the beginning of the raid, I remember what Oda had a conversation interview. He's like, I don't know how Luffy's going to beat Kaido. How is he going to actually win? There is no plan for him to win yet, and I don't know how he can beat Kaido because Kaido just wrecks everybody. I mean, he jumped 10,000 feet off the Sky Island to face Kid, and before Apu betrays Kid and Hawkins. So 10,000 feet off the ground and you're still alive, you're still a monster. How do we beat this guy still? And even after knowing and doing the fight with Luffy turning into, we'll discuss that a little later, but just how Luffy does take on the king of beasts pretty much. That's
the strongest creature.
The strongest, and not even man creature,
yeah.
And we really never went into, I mean, we had like a little bit of Kaido
he
background, but like we never got like the death of like Big
Yeah.
Mom story either.
Well, we got Big Mom stuff.
I mean, we got Big Mom, but Big Mom had like what I think like 3 or 4 chapters of like backstory of her and Mother Carmel.
Yeah, but you said how we didn't get that with like Kaido.
Yeah, Kaido, we got one where him and King are looking at each other like the person who is, I guess I can spoil. I guess the person who is Joy Boy will be the one who defeats me.
Yeah, he kind of just foreshadowed that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, other than that, I mean, we got what maybe 4 pages of Kaido backstory, him joining Rocks, him creating his own crew, and then him just being like, "I'm just going to take over Wano right now."
Yeah, I mean, but it's interesting because you can kind of see the parallel with Kaido and Big Mom, right? Kaido was a young teenager that they had made join whatever the army force that was because he was so powerful and he was kicking everyone's ass. And eventually he was secretly turned into the government because they were like, we just can't control you. And I think there was like a bounty on him anyway or something. So like, kind of similar-ish to what happened to Big Mom, you know, like she was too big to be controlled. She was too powerful, and eventually she was supposed to be turned over to the government through Mother Carmel, but instead that whole eating everyone situation happened. So like
cannibalism, that's what it is.
Like her. So like, it's I didn't think about it too just now, but like their stories are kind of similar in terms of like what happened to them when they were kids, outside of obviously Big Mom blacks out when she's hungry and Kaido got to see and experience and remember the whole damn thing and actually did get taken prisoner and had to go through all of that. So I thought that was interesting to see. But as to what I was saying earlier, we didn't get what Kaido's background was. We don't know what he is. We still don't know.
Yeah.
And
it says he's the strongest creature.
Yeah. I can only assume that Yamato will tell us. I can only assume because she's also one. So someone's going to ask her, "What are you?" And she'll have to say, "I am. This is our race, whatever it is."
Because he's from Vodka City, right? Or Vodka Country.
I can't remember.
There's something with alcohol. I just.
And I was like, it involved booze.
Yeah, it definitely involved booze.
That's why he's a drunk. Well, what do you guys think?
Okay.
No,
I don't know. I was just gonna say, like, I didn't expect things didn't go how I thought they would, because usually the way of One Piece is to like once we start getting closer to like boss battles and stuff, you're like, okay, Luffy's gonna fight the big baddie, so he's gonna fight Crocodile. Zoro fights the number 2, Sanji fights the number 3, and so on. But it ended up happening that way, but not in the order that we were expecting it, because as you saw with the rooftop battle, we had Luffy, Kid, Law, Killer, Zoro all up there fighting Kaido at one time. That was way unexpected for me. And then no one like really fell into that order, like Sanji fighting King. It didn't come to him fighting King first, but not King, but Queen. He went to Black Maria and then ended up with Queen. And I don't know. It was, and then everyone else in the crew just was unexpected. But I was really surprised by how strong everyone in Kaido's crew was. That was probably one of the biggest takebacks. But I shouldn't have been, because it was kind of that way with Big Mom's crew as well. Like Luffy having to fight Cracker for 4 days and like struggling with that battle, and then him not even fighting Big Mom at that point. He just went and fought Katakuri, and that was his big battle for the whole Cake Island arc. So it's just the power dynamic in these crews is just way upscale, and I just didn't appreciate that as much as I feel like I should have at the beginning of the raid.
I want to talk about King and Queen, but I want to wait a little bit later to do it, especially because of what you just said with the strength you say that you saw in the Beast Pirates so on. Because I don't necessarily agree, but I want to talk about that in a bit, because he did mention the other Straw Hats in their fights. So we did also meet and go through the Tobiropo. So like with the whole Tobiropo situation, underwhelming, overwhelming. Obviously, a lot of people liked Ulti because she was the only one who truly was like on people's bumpers from start to finish. She went right after Luffy, like so much so that after the first headbutt, he was afraid of the second headbutt. He was like, I gotta get this girl out of my way quickly. Almost went into Gear 4th to do it. While you also had Sakazuki Sasaki. Sorry, I said Sakazuki.
Yeah,
Sasaki
no, I have it pulled up.
Like,
So
easily get like manipulated, but he didn't know that was dangerous. So like, I kind of get that. And like, I liked what the Scabbards did. I liked them kind of how they truly did sneak their way completely through, and tricking everyone. And I like how the Straw Hats got their individual matchups throughout the raid. And I think, and it's kind of crazy. Frankie always ends up getting like a fun little just brawling matchup. I liked his Sasaki fight, and it's animated currently, and I need to go back and watch it because I've seen some little bits and pieces, and I think it looks amazing.
Because Sasuke does like this stupid like helicopter thing, doesn't he?
Yes, he does that helicopter thing.
It's like every once in a while we're like, oh man, this is a super serious like show and everything. And then all of a sudden we'll just drop some goofiness.
You're like, that's not how that works. That's not how your neck works. And you're just like, nope. That's why you're muted still.
I was gonna say that just made me think like I can't wait until we talk about Queen later, and just that's not how it works.
I was thinking the same way.
And it was interesting. I will say it was really interesting with the Who's Who and Jinbei fight, because I know Jinbei is such a strong but wild card character for the Straw Hats that like I was like, who are they going to have him fight? And then the fact that he fought Who's Who, and then we found out a little tidbit about Luffy's fruit from Who's Who and like the importance of it. So it's just like, oh. But the fact that he is just got this vendetta against Lucy, because he's like, I could have been Lucy. That's what I was gonna be. Like I was as strong as him. But I ended up with he just kind of still seemed butthurt about being with the Beast Pirates.
Because he was the one that actually like was the one guarding the Gum fruit, and then that's when they threw him in prison because he lost it to Shanks.
Correct. Yeah.
And then page 1 was real lackluster.
Yeah.
which is crazy because he was so like one of the hunters, you know, when they were in Wano, and then when they got to Onigashima, he really didn't do anything. He just got he just got beasted by Big Mom.
Then him and Ulti get
Ulti,
because like Ulti was like kind of like a wild card because like she kind of kept up with Luffy a little bit, and that's what.
Yeah, and then she was attacking Big Mom too.
It was like,
Did not care.
That's what I wanted to say. I don't know if she was keeping up with Luffy. Luffy was just trying to get to the roof, and Ulti was like, "I want to headbutt you." And Luffy was gonna go Gear 4th, not because she needed to, but because he wanted to just get her out of the way as quickly as possible. And the quickest way to do that is to go Gear 4th, knock her bitch ass out, and keep it moving.
Like, I have an issue with like how like Big Mom and like the future sight with Katakuri and like seeing that, like seeing like into the future of people's attacks. They didn't really use that at all during this Wano arc.
I don't know if they said that Big Mom knew how to do future sight, which I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she did, but Kaido did say he knew how to do future sight, but he just didn't care to do future sight.
He didn't worry about it, but
yeah,
I know in certain fights there are points. I think one specifically was like when Zoro was going to slash him. He knew that if he did that,
Then
that was going to happen. Or I know Luffy used future sight, and I'm thinking Kaido did in that moment as well, and saying, "Hey, you saw that if I would have hit you with that, that was going to kill you." But not trying to.
Like if they actually like if Oda used like more future sight into the battle, then I mean we would still probably be halfway through the fight of Kaido.
Or it would just be evade.
That's one of those things when you're the strongest creature though. Like you don't need future sight because being the strongest creature, no one's going to beat you. So like hit me all you want to. Obviously, you don't expect Luffy to go. I mean, because again, we can get into it later, but I mean, he didn't need it. He didn't need it. And he said he knew how to do it, but he didn't need it. I mean, yeah, I like the Jinbei Who's Who fight. That was interesting to find out, and it was kind of interesting, right? Because we should have all pieced together that Luffy's fruit was the Niga fruit, because it went from Who's Who telling us that he was guarding a certain fruit, and that's why he hates Luffy the most in the Straw Hats. And we realized, he was guarding Luffy's gum fruit. And then right after that, he's like, Jinbei, while I was in prison, I heard about the sun god Nika and have people worship Nika. And Jinbei got pissed because he was like, don't talk about people's history when you don't know what you're talking about. And like, that's when Jinbei beat his ass. And it was kind of like, and that's
his ass,
so I thought that was very interesting because it was like, because he did kind of talk about the entirety of everything right there. And but because Oda had it happen in two different situations, one being I went to prison because of the fruit that Shanks stole from me, that is Luffy's fruit, so I hate Luffy. While I was in prison, I learned about Nika, and it was like, oh, wait a minute. So
and I'm just getting like recollection, whatever. But I mean, like the sun god, like the sun pirates are based on Nika too. Like they worship because they want to come from the surface they want to come from the surface, and that's why they chose. And that I just put all that together in my mind and wasn't sure if you guys figured that out before.
I hadn't, but thank you for that, because now I'm just like, oh, that makes sense. But I also thought, like, I don't know if Oda did the naming very closely, but like one of the things that Luffy loves so much is Niku, which is meat. So it might be a stretch, but
it's not bad. It's not a bad stretch. Stretch gum. No.
I think that's one of Luffy's most warmed up further stretches he's had so far.
But but I also just recently watched Skypiea, and just it all is coming together now. It's like it's crazy that the foreshadowing, and then like we also got to see I know that's a little too much, but on the most recent chapter, the cover, and seeing how that relates to what's going on right now. So cover from the beginning.
You're muted.
You like hit something and then you heard meh and it went
Yeah.
muted.
Beer.
Well, Tawan's got some technical difficulties happening over there.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, the raid was wonderful. Oh, Tawan, you're back.
Yeah, sorry. My finger hit the cord and then it muted me.
But yeah, we got to as you guys are kind of saying, I also don't think the raid went how I thought it would go. We knew like the matchups we got at the end in terms of the big three, those have made sense. Didn't expect Kid and Law to break up in just those two focus Big Mom, while Luffy got Kid or Kaido. I mean, we kind of talk about. Didn't expect Luffy to lose twice, just during the raid itself. Did not expect awakenings of Kid and Law.
No.
Did not expect.
Well, speaking of awakenings, and we were just talking about the Toby Ropas, do you think that Nico Robin's fruit is awakened with her devil form? Like, what do we think her awakening would be?
I have no idea, really, because I mean, it's
the hand. The hand's such a weird power.
Yeah, because I mean, she can replicate any part of herself. So really, she just made a new top half of herself, but she gave it wing like a devil form. So I don't know, because what would be awakening of being able to reproduce your body?
Maybe like a complete clone.
But she's been able to do complete clones. Just they were smaller. They were like normal size complete clones.
I want her to do what I want her to do what like what Doflamingo did, just like have a body and like we think she's dead, and then she's like, nope, that was just a substitute.
Yeah, that's what she did when like I think somebody thought they had captured her. I think it was it on Onigashima or was it on Fishman Island? They thought they captured her, and then it was like, nope, that's just a clone. Hello, I'm over here coming out the woods. So like that was pretty interesting. But yeah, like so those things, but getting the matchups we got, I thought was pretty of the lower levels was pretty cool. Did not expect. Let's go into this. I didn't expect the Sanji thing, right?
Everything
I did not expect. Obviously we got the annoying part, right? Sanji's helping Luffy get to the rooftop or trying to, and all of a sudden distress call from a woman or hearing his observation hockey that is higher level, but only really when it comes to women, kicked in and sent him away from helping his captain get to the rooftop, the most important part of this mission, and instead sent him to the pleasure hall to then be essentially captured by Black Maria, right? And we got to meet Black Maria, and we knew this was going to happen. It was one of those things where it's like, well, damn it, now he's trapped with a woman. He's not going to beat a woman. This is the Toby Ropo. She was kind of beating him up, and we were like, damn. And then it became like, we want Nico Robin. Bring me Robin. I'm not saying Nico. Bring me Robin. And that was awesome. People kind of hated on Sanji because he called for Robin's help, but it was kind of like, you can't really hate him like that. That's what was expected of him. That's his Nakama. He has full faith that Robin can beat Black Maria. Brooke was also there, which I thought was pretty cool. And it allowed Sanji to continue going on to do what he needed to do. And then we got him like, we got to get him fighting. We saw him, he did stealth Black. He took it off. He was like, it made me feel weird. He told Zoro, I mean, like, well,
if I'm not myself,
I kind of liked everything that happened there with Sanji, with after the Black Maria thing, after the stealth Black and feeling weird with it and choosing I'm not going to put it back on again, and then he finally fought Queen, and during that fight with Queen, he got his Derma 6 powers.
Yeah.
Without the Derma 6 suit.
Yeah.
And we found out he couldn't be broken, literally.
Yeah, like Queen crushed his body, and then it just healed.
Just crack. It's like
Then he swung the big blade, and it just broke on Sanji's body, and Sanji was
He's
like,
damn it,
what
I
was
don't want to be
that?"
like them.
So like that fully caught me off guard. Sanji unlocking Sanji pulling a Gohan, unlocking his full potential. that caught me completely off guard.
I don't know. I see parallels for like when they fought CP9 and like what Sanji ended up in Khalifa's room, the bubble girl.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I'm happy, but I'm also sad because I know I'm not going to win this fight. And then he goes and faces, what is it, Jabra, I think is his name, the wolf. The wolf that after Zoro and Usopp get tied together.
Yeah, and then we get to see his
funny.
Diablo Gemble.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Matt, since Sanji's your guy, what were your thoughts on finally getting?
I think
like Sanji's already strong. Obviously, Jinbei came in, so everyone was kind of talking about, oh, Jinbei's going to pass Sanji, Jinbei's going to be 3, Sanji's going to be 4. And then we kind of started to see Yamato a little bit, and that was like a thought process, and everyone was like, what's going to happen with Sanji? And then Sanji got this spectacular power up.
Yeah. I enjoy the power up because he's much needed. He was overdue compared to like, I mean, we knew Zoro was training with the swords and everything, so we knew that was going to happen eventually. But with I didn't see like him using the suit would repercussion him for later on to actually gain new abilities. I didn't see that coming at all. And him be like, it's like, I can't be hurt. I'm not this. Like, this is not who I'm supposed to be. And it's like, I think there's still more underneath it than what's on surface right now too. His power, like he's going to use the black suit again, and something's going to happen, and something's going to snap within him.
He can't use the black suit.
That was Crush.
He crushed it. Remember
when
because he had the suit, and Queen was like, "Put on the suit. Put on. I want you to fight me with the suit, full powered." And Sanji threw the suit down and crushed it.
Yeah, because Queen was wanting to see whose science was better.
German.
Yeah, Ben Smoke or him. And the answer is Vegapunk.
I mean, I feel who we still haven't seen, which is crazy. Like, but I don't know. I don't know where it's going to take Sanji now, really, because I feel like they're all going to get like one more power up before the final saga, or get like one more big boost of power before they go face Blackbeard and Sasuke, or not Sasuke. I'm thinking of Akainu. I think he's Sakazuki. Yeah. So,
just call him
but I enjoyed the power. I think it's kind of cool that he's almost invincible now. Like his body's just almost like full arm and hockey all the time, and like he can like break his bones and it's just like crack back in place.
Mm-hmm.
So,
sorry,
I just want to see if it does anything different with like the Diablo fighter.
Remember, he has the Ifrit ability now. So he has the higher level Diablo Ifrit. It was the blue ones. So he does have a much more powerful.
Oh, the Ifrit. It's been so long. We've been on Kaido for so long. I forget Kaido and Luffy and like the craziness with that. So I'm blanking on Sanji's power. I just remember his invincibility.
Yeah, so essentially Sanji is now a full Dharma 6'6" kid. He now can heal his injuries pretty instantaneously. It takes a lot to even damage him now. Again, the sword broke on his body instead of even giving him damage. He can now move at the speed of light without the raid suit. Remember, Queen lost sight of Sanji. He was moving so fast he went invisible. He does have now the Ifrit Jambe, so he does have that even more powerful. Because remember, as we all know, blue flames are more powerful than orange flames, and that is what the Ifrit ability is. It is blue flames. So Sanji is now he's got a lot has happened for him, and he was concerned that it was going to lose his emotions like his siblings, which is his biggest concern. Because when he came, because he like lost consciousness for a little bit, or was like so deep in thought with everything, and when he came to, that woman was crying because she and it made it seem like Sanji hit that woman, and he thought he was losing his emotions, and he finally hit a woman, and that's when he told Zoro, "Hey, at the end of this, if I'm not myself, put me down." But it came to be that Queen did that, so Sanji never lost his emotions either. So like Sanji's fully himself, but also now much more powerful.
Yeah, just don't piss Sanji off. That's really the name of the game. If you piss him off, you're gonna get this leg.
Oh my
The
god!
black
You can
leg.
get
The
this
black leg, yeah, the black leg.
Don't piss me off. You can get this black leg. You want
Yeah.
this black leg.
But I think still with the Queen and Sanji fight, and also Zoro and King, I think they were just too short at the end of it. Like I wanted
I
more.
don't know. Like the Queen fight, like that was just that was a funny fight. That one was like half for comedy, half for the excitement and then like power ups of Sanji. But like just Queen in general was just the most ridiculous guy. And when he shot himself because he was like, oh yeah, it's a Brontosaurus, the hardest pun, and shooting himself out as a snake from his own body, and you're just like, wait, what?
That's not how that works.
Totally not how that works.
I mean, when Queen first started like showing up, first off, okay, since we're talking about Queen as well, I'm going to get to the anime side real quick. When they first got to the actual Onigashima, you guys remember that episode? Duma.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. It's not fat, it's muscle. Like that. Yeah, that whole thing with Queen. Yeah, that fucking fantastic. The Onigashima anime side of things, top notch. But yeah, like Queen, we saw Queen doing all these things with his body even back then, where his neck got long. It was a normal Brontosaurus neck, and then it was like even longer because it was all mechanical, and then his tail had opened up. And we were like, what? This isn't how things work. So yeah, to finally get his actual fight, and he has introduced every Germa 6 ability into his own body, and like you guys were saying, like shot the snake part of himself out of the round part of it. Like that shit made no sense. Like you are one body, you can't nah.
Also, he has like the blast breath ability, kind of like Kaido, but the fact that he will shoot his own body and be like, ah.
Yeah, that's it's like that's I only activate when I say it, and then he says it. Brachio's launcher.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's like, why did you shoot me? It's like because you said it.
Yeah, that shit was it was definitely a comical fight for sure. There was like you had like the seriousness in the Zoro fight and the comicalness in the Sanji fight. Because and it was honestly just because Queen, like without Queen, it would have been all serious, but Queen made that shit hilarious.
Yeah,
Queen's funny. Queen's a funny fucker.
Queen is definitely one of my favorite Beast Pirates for sure.
Because the Jack fight was kind of disappointing, though, wasn't it? I mean,
well, if you see animated, it's not, because animated with Ino and Neko, I don't know, but
Inuyasha.
Yeah, but like animated, it's a top-notch battle.
That's what
they
I
already
heard.
defeated him in the anime.
Yeah, it was because they change into their Sulong forms, and you get to see them in their Sulong forms, and it was like the episode I think where they attacked the. It was one of the big episodes that was animated because it was like not the only thing that happened.
Yeah, because we're already at Wano Feast now on the anime, so the Jack stuff's done. Because the final piece with Jack isn't done because it ends in a 1v1.
Yeah.
With Inuyasha, I think the dog fights another cat in the final 1v1. But yeah, Jack, I kind of when it comes to the manga, yes, because Oda didn't do a lot of fights were off screen in the manga. But when, like Tawana said, in the anime, they're gonna show him. But yeah, just because what we saw with Jack, right? When Jack was introduced in Zou, he fought Nekomamushi and Inuyasha for what was like a week or something crazy like that, and pretty much at the end of it, won. Like he had both of them tied to post, one with an arm cut off, one with a leg cut off, bandaged, beaten, and bruised, and tortured essentially, looking for Raizo. And left and came back but Zunisha was told by Momo to drop him into the sea. So, but we got to see that Jack was like, "Oh, this is a really durable fucker," and for him to only be third, like in the tier list, holy crap! Just for
I
him
think
to
it's
go
his
back,
mammoth power as well that helped with that, just because they're like a big tanky kind of creature.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
and he's bigger than Kaido.
Yeah,
Jack's the only one that's bigger than Kaido, and Kaido's
kind
fucking
of big
huge.
as fuck.
So that in and of itself is crazy. I think the only person bigger than Jack is Big Mom.
Or giant, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So all of that was kind of crazy. So we talked Sanji and Queen. What about Zoro Queen? And we can get to what Zoro did on the roof piece to kind of to equate for it, but overall, Zoro King. What were your thoughts?
It was a good fight. It was a little annoying that Zoro had to take such a beating on the rooftop, because I feel like it just made his fight more of a struggle. I feel like it would have been a better contest of strength if he was able to go, full strength from the beginning. I loved hearing about King because we don't know anything about him. We know that Big Mom wants him because we're thinking it's a Shandian, but from the moon.
He was a Lunarian.
Lunarian, that's what it is. But yeah. Also that his fire powers are just inherent with him. That was really cool to see in that. Find out his backstory, but yeah, it was a good fight. And then just seeing Zoro on the brink of death, and it's like he just keeps coming back. You just could not keep him down.
Yeah, Zoro got his justice. I mean, with even before being the first one to actually harm Kaido in the fight, also before that, and then I mean, he had all the disadvantage against King because King could still fly. Like having flying in One Piece is almost like having the high ground over Anakin all the time. Just
I have the high ground. Of course, you have the high ground.
It's like that's just a disadvantage. But I mean, he overcomes it. I mean, he pulls his will out of anywhere and everywhere, and then I mean, he's literally staring death in the face at the end of it, which we thought was. I wish it was Brooke instead, and just be like, but
that would have been funny if he he was just hallucinating because he was so tired, and it was just Brooke.
Because I know I've seen the episode when he's already struggling with Enma anyway, trying going against Kaido, and it's like I want to see more of that when he's facing King. It's like oh, he's sucking my powers, he's Enma's not letting me do what, because Enma is one of the 3 cursed blades, right?
Yeah,
no. The Sundai Hitetsu, the Sundais are the curse. Well, a lot of them are cursed, but the Sundais are the curse. If you use them as a wielder, you were going to die a gruesome death. That is the curse of the Sundai blades. Enma is just is not a black blade. Enma is one of the great grade weapons. Great grade
was the one that
blades.
Odin used.
Yeah.
Any blade can become a black blade. It just, how much hockey you want to put into it.
That doesn't make it a black blade.
Oh, well,
that's not what a black blade is. That's just a blade covered in hockey. They haven't really been able to say what makes a blade a black blade with Zoro, because none of his blades are black blades. But for example, Mihawk's blade is a black blade. Yeah. And so we have to figure out what it and that's kind of what people's thoughts were with the end of the fight, with what that could have been. Was that Enma incarnated staring down Zoro, and some process then and there is going to turn Enma into a black blade? Or what is needed to do that? Was it the spirit, and Zoro talks to the spirit, and is that what makes it a black blade? So that's where the thoughts are currently in terms of what that, because again, we don't know. And we thought when Zoro came conscious of, he would tell us what it was, or maybe Oda would kind of talk about it, but was just ignored.
It's like, yep, that just happened, and we're moving on.
Yeah, it was like,
look at this awesome feast that we're about to have.
Yeah, hey Zoro, last we saw you alive, you were staring death in the face, or so we thought. You want to tell us what the fuck that was? And he's like, oh no, last thing I remember is that I was told I gotta kill Sanji. He went to go.
It's like, you're not Sanji, you're an imposter.
But yeah, so as a Zoro stand, I thought it was great. Ish, right? Because I thought it was really short. I thought that was a very short fight. And I thought that it didn't have a lot of, I mean, and sure, I know when it's animated, it's going to be turned into something spectacular. It's going to probably be drawn out and make it better, but it seemed short. It was Zoro going to stab King or slice King and not being able to, right? Every time he hit him, it blew, like when he really hit him the first time, it blew up. And Zoro was like, oh, if I didn't put my arm in hockey up in time, I would have died. Oh, how was he still alive with that big ass explosion? And then he learned, oh, King's ability is like fire/explosion or whatever. Like he kind of learned the race a little bit and was like, okay, well, when I hit him, this happens. And then he picked up on, well, when he has his flames on his back, I can't hit him. When his flames aren't on his back, I can hit him. And kind of started to time that out. And that didn't take a long time from like the first couple of hits to that. And even when that was happening, and of course we got to see, like, you know, he cracked his face mask for the first time, and then finally took the mask crumbled off, and we got to see King's beautiful face, and everyone was like, oh shit, King is sexy to the motherfucker.
He gave me big Sephiroth vibes from Final Fantasy VII.
You know, we saw it, but I thought that was and that's what people were really like, oh my god, like, are the Lunarians related to the Skypians or the Shindoans? Because he had, you know, the facial markings that we saw from the Shindoans. We were like, oh shit, like, are they related? And it also brought up, oh my god, it's Dragon one, because Dragon's face, you know, remember Dragon's tattoo on his face. All that stuff was like,
maybe his wings were clipped.
Exactly. See, you got all these theories that started to happen.
Ooh, then Luffy would be Luminarian.
Exactly.
And that would be even.
So the thoughts there is Luffy either a Lunarian, probably not though, probably closer to the Shindoans, but is he like a Shindoan? Like, is he related to someone who lived in the sky? Whether it's somebody who lived on a sky island, or someone who lived atop the red line before the Celestials came down, right?
If Dragon's a Lunarian, that means Garp was with Lunarian then, like Luffy's grandmother is.
All these potentials.
Yeah.
Unless...
saying that Garp was not necessarily Dragon's dad, but Luffy's mom's dad?
Oh.
No.
Oh, it could be.
Because it was never said that Garp is Dragon's son. I mean,
but they're both Monkey D. Garp.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's
Monkey D.
Yeah,
Dragon.
there. It's pretty sure. Yeah. But yeah, so all of that, pretty wild. But yeah, I love the King's. I love King's attack. Right. I love that magma dragon that he had sent at Zoro, because it was funny. It was always theorized Zoro's gonna cut a dragon down. And that's why I thought it was going to be Kaido, because he had to be like Ryuma. Ryuma cut a dragon down. Zoro's going to have to cut a dragon down. So it's like Kaido's going to be the dragon he cuts down. But instead, it was a magma dragon that was sent to attack him via King's strongest attack. Why did King have to launch his strongest attack at a Zoro who only had another like 4 or 5 minutes left of strength before he was going to collapse? Because of the pain pill he took, and he already had a broken body? I don't know. King could have 100% just stayed flying in the sky and been like, I'm just going to be up here, bro. and Zoro still would have lost the fight. But that's not how an interesting battle works. King didn't do a lot of smart stuff, and we got to see Zoro kick King's ass. I want to see it animated. I thought it was an underwhelming fight in terms of length and all the moves that could have been brought out. But seeing it animated is going to be pretty great. And again, my guy Zoro did some great things, and that can kind of bring us to actual Roof Piece, the entirety of Roof Piece. We can go from everyone arriving Luffy declaring in front of Big Mom and Kaido, "I'm king of the pirate. I'm gonna surpass you and be king of the pirates." To all of them attacking, the combined combination attack, separating everything.
It's like that first scene of all 5 of them when Luffy walks through the door and they're all just sitting there waiting for him to walk in. Kaido and Big Mom are just staying on the opposite side, all staring at each other. It's like, this is about to be an epic fight.
Yeah, and then he walks through the middle of them because he sees Kiemon laying on the ground, and they're both talking to him, and he just ignores them. That is a badass moment.
Hey, Lin, you'll never guess what this little brat tried to say to me earlier. Hey, brat, tell her what you said. Tell her.
Wait,
Hey,
what's he doing?
Where are you going?
Wait, you're really just going to walk past this?
He tells Law, is like, Law, send them down. It's like, I'm already doing that. You didn't have to tell me to do that.
Oh my gosh, that Law was definitely one of my favorite characters of the rooftop battles.
The comedy.
He because it happened with him, and then Zoro asked him, he was like, "Send me over there," and he's like, "I'm not." I'm not your assistant, your servant. You're not telling me what to do.
Like, no. That is exactly what you are here, Law. You listen to the Straw Hats. And because even Kid played into it. Kid was like, so you found your crew to join.
They just would not stop with the comedy. Oh, and then I love seeing it animated too. But when they finally get up there and they're all doing their attacks, they're saying like, "Hey, I'm doing the most damage. No, I'm doing the most damage. No, I'm doing the most damage." And Luffy's like, "You know what? I'm the strongest. So the first one that moves is a bitch, essentially. Like, let's play chicken. First one to move loses." They're like, "I'm not going to play that game with you. I'm not going to play that game with you." All right. Okay, so I win. They're like, "No, you don't win." And then they all 3 do it.
And Zoro and Killer are both like, you guys know this is a serious fight, right? Like,
we could die here, right?
Yeah, like these attacks can literally kill us anytime.
Man. And then poor Law, he didn't have his guy. Poor because Beppo's all the way down low.
Beppo's technically a pet too.
Oh my god. But no, so yeah, roof piece top notch because you got the comedy in that part, and then it did start to turn serious. You know, Kaido wanted to see what everybody could do. He got to see what everybody could do, and then Big Mom kept jumping in and fighting, and we end up getting some smart combination attacks. Right? You know, you got them trapping Zeus by using that metal box that Kid made. I forgot what it's technically called, but it traps electricity inside of it.
Well, Gideon.
And so that was a thing. And then Law, then Kid pushed Big Mom off the cliff. And we were all confident that was the end of Big Mom. It was like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's kind of a bitch way to do it, but she's got nothing but water. She's got nothing but water under her. It's over.
Prometheus was there.
Yeah, man.
And then Prometheus came up.
Oh no, because Prometheus was cut. He got cut up by Zoro. Yeah, he got cut up by Zoro. Because he was
using Kiemon's attack.
Mm-hmm.
But also the fact that Prometheus had the idea is like, Big Mom, Zeus has kind of been a problem for a while. You know what would be a great idea? And then the next time we see her, you're like, oh, hey, this is Hera.
Yeah, Zeus finally breaks out and she's replaced and she tried to feed him. I was like, damn, Zeus. But he escapes, makes his way to Nami. Now Nami has Zeus, which powers her up. Especially because it's not just that she has Zeus in the cloud form. Zeus is the Climator. He's the Climatak now.
And I don't know if Zeus needs Big Mom anymore
He doesn't. They never do. Once she makes the souls, they don't need Big Mom. They're kind of like with her, but if they become sentient enough or whatever, they can choose to not obey her.
Yeah, I'm saying like if Big Mom were to die, would Zeus?
I think that would kill Zeus.
Because I thought she put like amount of time into each like creature.
It's soul.
Yeah, soul.
And they have a part of her own soul in them.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
yeah.
So her hat, Prometheus, Hera, Zeus. I forget what the name-
Her new combo attack though, when it was Hera, Zeus, and
I forget what this one was called.
Hera, when it was Hera, Prometheus, and Napoleon. Man, that attack was something fierce.
Not to be fucked with.
No, so I like that. I mean, and don't want to go like part by part of their fights, but you know, obviously we finally did get Big Mom separated, Big Mom Kid Law downstairs fighting. Thank you, baby. Appreciate it. You know, we got that fight, and then Killer breaking off to fight Hawkins, because Hawkins was attacking himself pretty much like to beat Kid, because that caught everybody off guard of Hawkins having a part of Kid in him, like that being one of his dolls.
Yeah.
And then Killer just being like, you know what? I could cut off this arm. And you see Kid's arm just fall off. And he's like, well, that was weird.
Who's doing that?
I was so surprised it took that long to, and I guess like if you were in an actual battle, it wouldn't be the first thing you thought of. But that was like what came to my mind immediately. I was like, when Killer was doing that damage, and Hawkins was like, "Hi, you're hurting your captain," and then we saw Kid like bleeding profusely and Law panicking about what's happening to Kid. I was like, Killer, your captain doesn't have a fucking arm. Just chop the arm off. But Killer was like, I guess I'll live. Like he almost gave up. And I was like, bro, chop the arm off. Like, you know, it doesn't hurt your captain at all. Take the arm. Maybe take a leg. I don't know. Kid can bring up a metal leg if he needed to. You don't gotta cut. You don't gotta cut the heart out, but chop a limb off or two.
This is dumb on Hawkins' part too, because like he had him on his Kid's left arm is the one dead, and it's like he had Kid on his left arm too, right? That's where he put the
I think that's
doll.
what the doll was.
Yeah, so he's like, oh,
yeah, just chop
stupid Hawkins, yeah. Stupid.
That's
for someone who's so like intent on preserving your own life. Put it somewhere. Put it in the center of you.
I mean, the thing is, no matter where it's at in you, once the damage is acclimated, it falls out because it's useless. Because the dolls aren't necessarily, hey, I am your right arm. When your right arm's attacked, I'm attacked. It's like the doll, no matter where it's at, is Hawkins. So once the damage is acclimated, that doll falls out because that doll is no longer useful. All the damage has been done.
One attack, or can it take multiple?
No, I think it's a damage amount. Like because when Kizaru attacked them very early on, he was shooting beams into like Kizaru's chest or into Hawkins' chest. That's why each doll fell out, because like one attack was a death strike, right? Like it was, I'm killing you. But when he was fighting Hawkins with Law, or when he was fighting Hawkins or a Killer, the Killer did multiple attacks and that doll still stayed there because none of them were like deathly amount of damage attacks to like get the doll out.
Yeah.
And then we get all the fun things that happen. You know, Zoro did his damn thing. I liked the taking the conquest of the seas attack by the combination attack by Kaido and Big Mom. The Kaido Killer, sorry, the Big Mom Law Kid fight was okay. A lot of it off screen, and Tama and Nami and Oti and all of them kind of came into play there. But with the raid and the focus of our conversation today being the raid, we kind of have to we got to really bring our attention and our end of this to the most important part. What was really going to determine whether or not this raid failed or succeeded. And that was the head honchos of each side, right? Kaido versus Luffy, 1v1ing on the roof, here going forward. Luffy challenged Kaido when he was like, "Oh yeah, I remembered I can deal damage like with my not Conquerors yet, not Conquerors yet. Oh. The advanced armament hockey, the Rio." That was when he first kind of told Killer and Kid or Killer-in-law, like, you guys go take Big Mama, I got Kaido, right? And then Kaido beat Luffy. And like, you know, we thought it was over, and then Luffy got back up and remembered, and learned he could use Conqueror's Haki in a coded way, and that was when we all thought the page was turning, right? He went up quickly, bam, in base form, no contact, Conqueror's coded punch right in Kaido, and we were like, oh shit, here we go, Luffy's finally doing this. He uppercutting Kaido without even hitting Kaido with Conqueror's attack. Like, Luffy's got this now. Just for Kaido to be like, okay, this is a fun fight. Start drinking. And we learned that Kaido's more powerful when he's drunk. And just went, you know, ham, knocked Luffy off the cliff.
Knocked him off the island.
Yeah,
he fell off the island.
Fell off the island. We run into fucking Caribou. This motherfucker. And everyone was like, oh, Caribou's gonna have a bunch of meat. Caribou had a ton of meat. He had Luffy eating.
This is supposed to be my ration for when I'm in desperate need. And he's like, no, I need more. I need meat.
But like, that saved him, because remember, Luffy fell in the water, lost ship, lost submarine was there. They could somehow hear Luffy. I think theirs was sonar. Zunisha and Momo was hearing Luffy's heartbeat start to fade, right? They got him. They picked him up. They put him. They put him back on land. Ran into Caribou. Caribou fed him. Somehow he got Momo transformed into an adult.
Mm-hmm. That's because his sister
Shinobu
him up.
Not the sister of the samurai. Shinobu aged him up with her abilities. Aged him up 20 years. So now he's the same size dragon as Kaido.
When he first went to all the halls and everything, people were like, "Why is Kaido pink now?" Like, or why? What does Kaido do down here?
I never understood. Everyone's like, "Oh, what's Kaido?" It's like, bitch, he's a completely different color dragon. One is blue, one is pink.
Hey, if you've only seen one dragon and it's literally Kaido, like, I'm not gonna think it's another dragon immediately.
When I see two different colored dragons, I know one ain't the same. But
maybe he slipped into some paint or something. I don't know. That's like.
But yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
But just like all those things, right? Luffy loses. Luffy gets up. Kaido's like, "Oh, I should have took your head." That's how I could really let these people know I won. If I took your head, they know it's over. They announced that Luffy lost. The Straw Hat's like, we don't believe it, right? And then Luffy gets back up. He's back up there fighting Kaido with Conqueror's Haki this time, and everyone's like, "Okay, cool, this fight's not over." Momo announces the fight's not over. They keep going at it. Luffy Kaido's having a good time, drinking, laughing, offering Luffy alcohol. Like, "Hey, I'm having a good time fighting you. You actually like really enjoyable. I respect you. Have a drink." And Luffy's like, "No, I'm here to beat your ass." And right when we think, okay, this last combination attack between Luffy and Kaido's gonna happen, we learn about Luffy's devil fruit. And they're like, we can't let him win this fight. We need him dead. And that CP0 agent comes in, right? Luffy and Kaido, final attacks are about to hit. CP0 interrupts, and Luffy gets hit with that final Ragnarok that just ends Luffy. Luffy's dead. Luffy dead. He died. Yeah, he's dead. The Kaido as the victor is announced. Luffy's heartbeat stops.
Banner was dropped.
Momo's like, his heartbeat's gone.
The voice is gone.
Or your voice is gone. It's done, right? Everyone announces
Kaido wins.
It's over. Kaido comes back
Kaido
in.
Wins.
He's like,
good talking, guys.
Yeah, Kaido comes in. He's like, "This time for sure, I killed your captain." And people could see it. People are like, "Oh shit, I can't hear. Like, I don't. Luffy's gone." And everyone's devastated. And Kaido's like, "Oh, and don't think that like, oh, I'm just gonna capture y'all." Like, no. Everybody in here who raised up against us, you're dead. And like, we killing all of y'all. This is a war. You're all dying. Like, let's get this work.
Don't mess with me.
Yeah.
You don't hear it, but you see those drums of liberation coming, and you see that smile lifting up off of Luffy's mouth, and then you see Zunisha say, "Oh wow, it's been 800 years since you've been here, Joy Boy's
returned."
And you're like,
Gear
right.
fifth,
Wild.
Gear 5th Wolf Luffy awakened. We find out the Nika he's got the Hito no Mi model sun god
He's been
Nika.
lied to for the past almost 30 years. Gosh. It just has not stopped.
And then we get Toon Force. Toon Force versus Kaido.
And Toon Force. Also, just
Those attacks are so silly.
Clip for where we are now, but the Toon Force eyes in this last chapter was just hilarious with Kid.
Yeah, I like that. I like that they were still there. You know, I like that. It's not gone.
Yeah, but yeah, so he just evolves and kind of becomes a Super Saiyan in a way with the white hair and just all his silly Toon Force abilities and just his laughing like crazy. And Kaido just doesn't even know what to do with his power because he goes into his mouth and comes out of his eyes. And
just getting rocked too. Like, I mean, he's getting fisted. Like, what? Luffy grabs literal lightning and strikes it down on the dragon.
No, it's just the fact that you're like, he's getting fisted.
Yeah, that's. I chose my words carefully.
Yeah, Luffy grabbed lightning, which kind of made sense, rubber. But he grabbed lightning. He ran on air, like caused he had the funny Toon Force spinning wheel, running legs that caused fire, a fire road on the air.
Oh yeah, and then he got hit by his blast attack, and was like, "Oh no, I'm on fire!" and just like running with his pants on fire. Able to grab the ground and just pull it up to make it rubber and reverberate Kaido's attack back at him. So it's just
called the most ridiculous power in the world because he can whatever he puts his mind to is what he can do. That's fucking ridiculous.
That's what he's been doing this whole time, and we just really haven't noticed it. Like him,
Red Hawk is like, oh yeah, of course he can make fire with.
Yeah, we're thinking like he's like using the friction from the air to make fire, and we're like, actually he did that in water the first time, so does it really make sense that he did that?
And it also turned into fire when it was still back there before the punch came forward. Like, we never thought about it. No one ever challenged this concept. We were like, oh yeah, now all of that makes sense. He's punching so fast it's fire. I got it. It makes sense. Totally get it.
It's a callback to Ace. Like, yes, we love Ace. We love Ace. We miss Ace. We miss him.
Yeah, it's legit. Checks all the boxes.
So Luffy was able to use fire just willingly this whole time. And we just
it made sense. We were like, he gear second. His body's already warmer, so now he's moving fast enough. Yeah,
and it's like it makes you hot blooded, but it wouldn't make you faster.
It's all the logic's there. It all checks out. I asked the physicist. He said it checks. So you
can blow air into your bones, and that wouldn't make you just stronger too. It wouldn't just be a balloon that was hitting you. It would definitely
expand.
It increases muscle mass. That
was what I think. That's what the theory of Gear 4 was. Is like he was blowing the air into his muscles.
Yes, and then Gear 3 was bone. Gear 4 was muscle.
All of it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and all of it was a lie.
And I was like,
so it's like, why did he even have to shrink? Because he thought he was going to shrink with Gear 3. That's what that was.
And with the bounce man too, I mean, like his arm just never stopped stretching either. Like he can just keep on stretching. He can keep on going forever. He just chooses that. I'm rubber, so it has to. It can only go so far. So then it'll come back to me. It's like.
Also, it would bounce off the air, and he would just turn.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, because remember, Katakuri was like, "Rubber doesn't move like that," and we were all like, "Nah, it makes sense. It adds up."
It's like Katakuri, you're wrong. You're wrong. You can do all his stacks better, but no, you're wrong on this one. We know. We've seen Luffy more than you have.
Also, it just thought it. People brought it back up, and it was like that first moment when Momo turned into his dragon form, and he was like, "How do I turn out of it?" And Luffy was like, I don't know. I'm not a zone. I don't have zone proof. It's like, the court determined that was a lie.
Yeah. Are you trying to remember when he said that to him, Matt?
No, I'm not trying to do
Yeah.
that. It's like if Luffy, like if humans, because I know Chopper has like the mid form kind of thing where he's
So
like the buff
there's
one.
different variations of the Hito no Mi.
Because we
I
were
think
seeing
Chopper's
Goku
is just like the
human.
plain,
Mhm.
plain human. Also, the fact that he is an animal that ate the human fruit, that probably is giving him a different effect. But like,
I was thinking like a hybrid
um,
form of like Nika kind of thing. Because I guess like Gear 5 would be his true Nika form, like the full. Or
yeah,
is
this
there
is
a way to
his
do?
awakened form.
Yeah.
So, but like Sengoku, he has a Hito no Mi, but
Model
just the
Buddha.
version Buddha, or there's a lot like all of the dinosaur fruits. They're just all, I can't remember what the fruit is called, but they're all this dinosaur fruit, but model Bronchiosaurus, model T-Rex, model Triceratops. So
Yeah. So, and because again, it's with Luffy's already a human, you wouldn't have known that. Like he wouldn't have known that. He just thought it was rubber because it gave him rubber properties, which is what the fruit does. It gives you rubber properties, but that's not all it does. And so he was like, "Oh, I'm a rubber man because I turned into rubber when I ate this fruit. And since I don't have the book on it, that's what it is, right?" And here we are 20 years later, like, no, bitch, we were all lied to. It's a human fruit, model sun god Nika. So you are a god, which is already like, okay, this is now out of this world. So now we've got like Luffy being a god, Zoro said he's going to be the king of hell or king of the underworld. And then we got the science experiment in Sanji. We've got the demon in Nico Robin.
yeah, the devil form.
We've got the Soul King in Brook.
We got the god in Usopp.
Goose God Usopp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boy, the Usopp. That's my boy.
I would say that was like the most lackluster thing about this whole arc is that I didn't really get anything with Usopp.
I mean,
Usopp
he
takes down
saved
Green
Kinemon.
Bull.
Honestly,
maybe.
I'm all here for it. I am all here for it.
Usopp uses plants. Green Bull is a plant. Usopp takes down Green Bull.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
If anyone else says it, it was an imitation.
Yeah, but I thought all that was great. All that was amazing. Very much enjoyed it. And at the end of it all, Luffy won with one big ass punch, which I'm pretty sure. I think people were talking about how Oda said he wouldn't let Luffy win with a big punch, and Luffy won with a big punch.
He lied. What else is new?
He's been lying to us for 20 years, guys. Why are y'all surprised?
Are you really surprised?
Yeah. Should not be at all.
So, I thought that was all great. And so like that kind of gave us the end of the raid, right? Luffy beat Kaido for good. And now we have like the one last concern, right? We can't have Onigashima crash on the capital. So we have these little bitty pieces of side stuff that are important because it is now grown adult Momo having to get Dragon Clouds to push Onigashima away from the capital and land it softly and gently enough that it doesn't blow up because of the weapons at the base of Onigashima since Yamato was trying to get down there. I mean, you've also got Yamato in general, what she's doing. God, there was something else that we also had, like these little small pieces. But all of that, I thought, and then the Nico Robin thing, right? Big Mom was trying to get Nico Robin, and then the world government's trying to get Nico Robin, and we just hear everyone coming after Nico Robin. So, like, do we think now that the raid is over, right? Luffy won, Kaido and Big Mom were knocked into the earth. We talked about Luffy's awakening with Gear 5. We didn't talk about Kid and Law. Kid and Law's awakenings. Thoughts?
Love it.
Law, I mean, Kid was kind of subpar, but it makes sense. It's like his whole ability is magnetism. So instead of being able to magnetize himself or other metal objects, he can magnetize anything. So that is kind of cool. And I don't give it enough credit, which I need to.
You guys need to give Kid more credit. That's in general.
Law's ability, chef's kiss. Because anything Law is just a chef's kiss. But just being able to put a rune on any object and then just have it pierce any other object without it actually affecting the external features of it, like just sticking his sword all the way through Big Mom, or just like, what? That did that just happen? Yeah. And just the fact that, you know, he can, his ability as a doctor really just comes into play even more with his room ability. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm all here for it, because he can just already do some damage to the inside of your body. So if you put a room on his knife and then like radio shock or something inside, you're just going to kill people all day. So
why do you use like Gamma Knife with his awakening on top of it? I mean, would that just
we haven't
be
seen
too
it
OP?
yet, but but you know, there's still the potential for him showing up at Elbath, the final war, because, you know, him and Kid are definitely going to be at that final war.
I think so. Do you think Law's going to turn on anybody? I mean, Nico Robin called it, and it's like,
I don't, because I mean, Law is achieving his main objective right now, which was to take down Kaido. That was the whole reason he teamed up with Luffy.
There's a theory that Law is a sword member.
I haven't heard that one yet.
There's a theory that Law's a sword member, and
that's why he's not helping Luffy.
His idol was Cortisone. And Cortisone was a secret government agent, kind of like Sword, like Drake. And remember when Law met Drake, when they saw each other at Sabaody, that was like when he talked to Drake, he was like, "How many men you killed?" Like, kind of knowing that Drake was an undercover. Like people kind of said that the way it seemed is that he could kind of tell Drake was actually an undercover. And people's whole kind of thing is like, it would kind of make sense if Law followed in Cortisone's footsteps and he actually was also a secret government, but like in the sense of Sword, right? Because Sword doesn't like what the actual government Marines are doing. So like they can kind of be okay with pirates, but they aren't in like love with pirates, you know? So like that's a theory out there that Law is a part of Sword, just so y'all know.
I saw another theory that Sakazuki was also a part of Sword, like because they saw a sword tattoo on him. So I'm like,
yeah, I remember. So I think I forgot who it was. Somebody shut that down quick. But no. I saw a joke the other day though that somebody was like, he's actually the second in command of the revolutionaries.
Sakazuki?
Yeah, I laughed my ass off when I saw that. I was like, whoever wrote this was trolling so hard.
I was like, no shot, especially because he was so adamant about. Well, I mean, he might not have actually been adamant. Also, do they know? They have to know that Luffy is Garp's grandson. Like even at Marineford.
Mm-hmm. No, like in the beginning when Garp first introduced himself, he was like, "Yeah, this is my grandson. Like, yeah, you're doing crappy things because the world government's after you, but I still love you."
Yeah, and remember, like I think when Sengoku and them were there, he was he constantly was talking to Garp like, "Your damn grandson."
Yeah, but okay, I was making sure.
I'm just thinking, it's like, why did Law even help Luffy out in the beginning, like at the end of the war? Like, there's no particular reason. I mean, I know he eventually want to do a pirate alliance with him eventually, but there's no reason for Law to go there to get Luffy after Ace dies.
Law always has like a plan and then like an ulterior motive, I think.
And don't forget, Law. Don't forget, Law wants to uncover the will, like the meaning of the will of D, right? And Luffy is one of the only bounties currently that straight up lets it be known he is someone with the will of D. His Monkey D Luffy is there. So Law already knows, like, okay, this motherfucker here is a part of what I'm trying to understand, what I want to learn. So it would kind of make sense that Law would keep an eye on Luffy, because if his whole objective right now is to learn about the will of D, then when you know for sure that this person is somebody in the D clan, you're gonna be right on them. You're gonna observe this person. You're gonna help this person stay alive so that you can figure out what the will of D is. As you're learning more from poneglyphs and everything else, you're also gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna observe you and be on your hip to see what it is. Like, what can I learn from you and from what you do? From what I do, because he's also a D, you know, to like figure this out.
But I also think that Law, at least for the Marineford, he wasn't necessarily there to save Luffy. He was probably there to observe because he seems to be the only one with a submarine. So no one was going to know that he was down there. And it was just a way for him to monitor and keep track of what's going on in the world because, like, that's a part of his personality trait. And what makes him such a great captain is that he's real methodical in everything that he does. And then also it's an opportunity for him to make sure, like, oh, he became a Shibukai after Marineford. So keeping track of them. So I think it's just a plan in action that we don't see completely there.
Yeah, I like the theory. Now that it's out,
Yeah, some good stuff out
it's
there.
good. Yeah,
But yeah, so great awakenings by Kid and Law. I didn't expect them because we were all talking about Luffy and his own awakening. I don't know, like I remember when the chapters were coming out, it was constantly talked about Luffy's gonna get Gear 5th, he's gonna awaken. What's his awakening gonna be? No one knew it was gonna be that. We were lied to for 20 years, and it's a whole different type of thought. But with that, no one really talked about, okay, will Law and will Kid do their awakening? But when they did have their awakenings, we were all like, oh shit, okay, yeah, Luffy's 100% getting his in the next 3 chapters. But wow, what are these things? And so yeah, like seeing them and their abilities, like Tawan said, Kids made sense because it is magnetism. I can assign charges, positive, negative, to whatever I want to, and with that, big ass buildings to Big Mom to make her, crush her. Laws is really cool. One, because Laws just looks cool, like Vroom instead of the normal room's Vroom, and then it's got this really cool light or darker blue opaqueness to it, and the color panels. It just looked fantastic. And somehow his sword went from being like, as we saw when he did that one injection to her, to make it go as deep as possible, his sword went from on top of Onigashima, through Onigashima, and then through the ground on the earth, forever below them. That shit was top notch.
Like that's some Gin Ichimaru shit.
Yeah,
if you guys haven't watched it, but top notch.
And them not
also,
being afraid of Big Mom.
Yeah, but also it was Kid and Law's just banter with each other is hilarious. And when Kid was like, all right, no, Law was like, how long does that last, Kid? And he's like I tell you.
okay. I'm not giving you any secrets.
No, I'm not helping you out, bro. You still my enemy, don't forget.
And I was like, well, mine lasts about 5 minutes, so you take that with whatever you want.
Man. But I thought overall, obviously at the end of it all, Kid and Law smack Big Mom into the ground. They're not afraid of her Soro no Mi. They don't get their abilities taken or their souls taken. They beat her, send her down into the earth. Luffy punches a magma covered Kaido into the earth. We see that they're both in the magma. The victors have been decided. Momo has found the will, made clouds, pushed the clouds to safety, and Onigashima to safety, landed it safely with Yamato. And, bam, the raids won. Luffy won, he's passed out. Zoro won, he's passed out. Sanji won, he's recovered. Marco MVP here, helping out so much. He helped out in the main hall multiple times when Queen used at first Ice Oni curse stuff on people. With also MVP Dr. Chopper for multiple healing Zoro multiple times, healing everyone, quickly discovering how the Ice Oni stuff worked because he got infected, quickly understood it, fixed it for everybody. But this is why I wanted to say earlier the King and Queen thing and how I didn't think they were that powerful. It's because Marco was fighting them both 2v1 and held them off for a very long time.
But I think about the fact that Marco has been around doing this for a while.
So I feel like Mark,
but so is Whitebeard. I mean, Whitebeard
King and Queen are not young. King and Queen King got with Kaido when they were both young. Like when you can see them. I wouldn't say they were more than 20 years old at that point. And Kaido was like 50 now. King has been doing this shit for a long time too. We know Queen has been doing it for a long time. So yes, Marco has, but so was King and Queen.
I just don't understand Marco's power because I mean he's a phoenix, but like same time, like he's like, oh, I'm tired and old. I can't do this anymore. It's like I thought phoenixes can rise again anyway. Like his power is almost like infinite. Like he can heal whenever. Like he
might not
shot
be able
50
to
times
die,
and
but I don't know. Marco, I feel like is kind of getting to that point. Like it's a will to live kind of deal. And many important people to him have died over the years that he's kind of just losing that will to carry on. Like he wants to help Luffy because he knows how good Luffy is and how Luffy is going to be good for the world. But like even at the end of all of it, he's like, yeah, we won the battle. We've also got a lot of good people, but like Marco's getting to that point where he's just like he's losing everyone around him, and one day he just might decide like, hey, I'm ready to die, and not kill himself, but like maybe that's what allows the person with the Phoenix power to die is like the will to live.
I don't see that from Marco. He went and retired and hid off in a village to be a doctor. I just think that's what he's going to do again. He's like Rayleigh. He's a second hand of a former legendary captain who, with everything that's happened to his crew and to other people, he is going to go help the younger generation, but he's also just going to go hide and be on his own until he's needed. Like
until he sent me a letter.
Yeah, and like he, I don't want to say like weak-minded, but he doesn't have like that type of mind to be like, my crew has died, I want to go off and die too. Like, no, that has not seemed anything like a Marco. It's been like
he just want to be retired.
I am tired of battle. I'm tired of war. I'm going to go be a doctor in this little town that nobody else can help out because they don't have the money or the resources. But you don't need it from me because I have Phoenix powers. I can just touch your bitch ass and you're healed. So like, I think he's just gonna go back to doing that and be like Rayleigh, where Rayleigh's just like a shipwright until he's like, you know, until Luffy needed him, and then he came out of the woodworks and he was like, "Hey, let me come beat this admiral for you, and then we'll go escape." And I just see that being Marco's role, but that wasn't what I wanted to get to with Marco. It was more so just like he held off Queen and King, he fought Big Mom, he fought Pero, he teamed up with Pero and then fought Pero after Big Mom came into play. But like seeing how he was able to hold off King and Queen for so long, and it didn't seem like he was really fighting them, right? He was just like, he was literally just kind of being defense. His goal wasn't to defeat either one of them, and yet he was able to stop both of them from advancing on a lot of the crew for such a long time that when it came, that's why I kind of felt that it was underwhelming, and that's why I'm not so surprised with how Green Bull was able to like do what he did in the recent chapter. Because when we think back of like when Marco was fighting in the Marineford War, he didn't like he wasn't like getting smoked by any of the admirals by any means. Like he was kind of holding his own a little bit. Like he stopped Akainu I think once or twice. He stopped Kizaru a couple times. So like, but King and Queen both easily worked by Green Bull. That's why I'm kind of like, I just, and again, Marco holding off King and Queen for the amount of time he did, I was still kind of like, okay, they're both clearly below Marco in strength, in my opinion, at this point. And are they like, were the Beast Pirates really that strong? Like,
I think they were.
Their sheer numbers, like they like compared to like the Marineford War. I mean, like what it was like 1,000 versus 10,000 or something like that. Like, yeah, like 10 times the amount as the Whitebeard pirates. I mean, most of the Marines were kind of weak, but the Beast Pirates, I mean, they had the Toby Ropo, you had King, Queen, and Jack. I mean, at least the perception, even Kaido, with the perception of Kaido, I mean, it's like, how are we going to take down this dragon? But
I don't know. Also, I know for the Green Bull, them getting taken down is they haven't been given any medical treatment. We didn't really even see what has been happening with them over this past week. We just know that, hey, they came here and they're pretty much done.
2 comments to your medical treatment. 1, Queen's a doctor. Medical treatment, my ass. 2, there's zones. They are zones. It has been over 7 days. They are zones. Zone devil fruit users. Their durability is higher than anything else. Their recovery is higher than anyone else's. It has been a week. One of them is a doctor. One of them is an ancient race. It has been a week.
You know, the ancient race recovers fast, but yeah, okay.
We saw his recovery. Like, that was the whole reason. That was one of the reasons that they were testing and experimenting on King when he was captured originally by the government, was to test their recovery and their abilities and everything else. That was like a part of it. There's no reason. And yes, they were in a big fight, but not to the extent that they should. Like, they were clearly conscious, and yet Zoro nicked one of King's wings, so I kind of get that. Like, you can't just grow back a wing, right? So I kind of get that for King. But again, doctor, scientist, zone devil fruit users, you have the ability to put up some sort of fight against Green Bull. Some.
I mean, we don't know that they didn't also put up a fight, but yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if they did, and we saw the panels, if they did, it wasn't much of one. Green Bull called them bozos. He called them bozos. That's how weak they were to him. Like, and King's ability is like, he can summon fire and explosions and shit against a plant user. Green Bull had wood. Wood does not like fire.
Yeah. But living wood is hard to burn, so I don't know, I'm just the opposition to you.
So yeah, I was very with what we got with this chapter before this 1 month break. I didn't expect Green Bull to come in and run shit. He came in and ran shit, and I was like, damn, okay. But I was also very disappointed in how there was, well, from what we could see, no fight from Queen and King when we know that they were the 1 and 2 of the strongest creature in the world. One admiral came in and was like,
put his hands down. He's like, "Yep, I'm."
With no
he pretty
struggle.
much did that, like kind of how Aokiji was, like, just came in, just like took out the Straw Hat Pirates in like an instant. That's what Green Bull just did with the Beast Pirates. That the Beast Pirates have been running around for 50 years, and now the admiral can just come in and just take everybody out. Nah.
Like the fodder,
I guess like
all the fodder. I got it. I got all the fodder. Though there's simple nothingnesses, but your higher ups, that shouldn't happen.
Like I don't know. It's just hard to imagine that happening on Jack, just because.
Then, like, that means any Yonko crew could be taken out by Green Bull anytime they actually want to send him.
Yeah, Green Bull pretty much stated, like, mere commander shouldn't be anything to him. So if their commanders of one of the strongest pirate crews in the world, then he's not afraid of any commanders. He's only afraid of Yonko. And he's not even afraid. Because he's going after one of the new Yonkos in Luffy. So
I'd be scared if I ran to Buggy.
No,
so
Captain Buggy.
That was such a curveball that I was just so happy.
It's gonna pick Lawler. It's gonna pick Kid for the 4th Yonko. I'm like, who's gonna be?
And
Buggy.
Like, the community was trolling about Buggy. Like, that was Buggy. Like, after 1052 came out, or 1053 came out, and like that was the troll. The troll was, oh, Buggy's gonna be one of the Yonko. It was a joke. Everyone was like, yeah, Buggy's back. It's gonna be Buggy. When it actually was Buggy, I was like, what the fuck is what is Oda doing?
It's like, we don't know what Buggy has actually been doing, because we only know that he became a Shibukai and then really haven't seen him since.
Oh, he was selling weapons from Kaido for Kaido.
Yeah, that's people's thing. Buggy now has like full control of the underground because Kaido and Dofi are gone. And we already know that Buggy has a massive crew because he has all the escaped prisoners in there. So he has like a strong crew because some of the people were from level 3, level 4. He's got a strong crew. It's just the fact that the captain of this crew is not strong. The captain of this crew is like legit. Buggy has a pretty strong crew. I don't think it's a Yonko level crew, but it's a strong, large crew. But Buggy himself is an absolute joke, and that is why it doesn't make any sense to any of us that Buggy is a Yonko. But it's because of his influence in his crew. That's it.
He had that crazy publicity at Marineford because they were like videotaping him. So of course, anyone that sees him is gonna be like, "Oh, Captain Buggy."
Yeah, and he knows he's the brother of Shanks, another Yonko. He was on Roger's crew, the Pirate King's crew.
He talked back to White. He talked to Whitebeard as an equal.
Buggy's got recognition, bro.
And Ace, I mean not Ace, but Shanks. He talked to Shanks as well because that was filmed. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, he's talking to red-haired and like talking back to him." Yeah, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, Buggy's got it, man. Just in a fight, he gonna lose. But outside of that, and what's kind of funny about that is Buggy's power is only the chop fruit. So like, if he were to fight Blackbeard, he doesn't really lose anything. Like he's not like, "Oh no, I can't use my firepower." Like Buggy uses fucking bombs and knives. He can still use those fighting Blackbeard.
I mean, Blackbeard might absorb him. That's what he's done before.
Blackbeard absorbs. He stops your devil fruit abilities when he touches you.
I know, but I thought he has absorbed like
I don't know why he just
crates and stuff into him and then thrown them back at.
He can do that if he activates the ability. But remember, like even Ace had hit him with like fire bleed. So like if he's either A, not expecting it, or 2, just not in the moment of using the ability, then you can. I mean, yeah, because remember you can hit Blackbeard.
Yeah, but
yeah, I remember Blackbeard. He tried to recruit Ace. How would that have been different? And the whole story of Ace was like, yeah, I mean, he would never have done it, but.
Man. But yeah, raid was successful.
Yeah.
The Straw Hat Pirate, the Pirate Mink Ninja,
Samurai Ninja
Alliance,
Minx Alliance.
They won. Yeah. They won. They did the unthinkable. They did the impossible. With the was like 20-1 odds, they won. Thanks to a lot of bullshit and Tama being another MVP, converting half of the gifters to their side. I thought it was great. It was. I'm happy that we are now at the end of it. I am happy for the next chapter, the next saga, the final saga. I think man, it's going to be interesting because what's going to stop Green Bull? Green Bull is currently on the path to capturing everybody. And the only thing I can think is that Robin just mentioned Pluton and Kazuki, Odin's dad, said that it is there, and I think he's going to take her to it. And I think that's could that be the only thing to stop Green Bull? Or because I mean, obviously he's not going to stop here. Like it's not going to be like, "Oh shit, Green Bull captured everybody, story over," right? So,
I wonder if Luffy. Well, that'd be an interesting twist if Luffy actually did get captured, and their pursuit is a pursuit to free Luffy. Like they end up going to Elbath in order to find Shanks, and then Shanks, the Straw Hats teaming up with Shanks to then free Luffy at an execution as like a final war. I know it's a stretch, but
I think when we talk theories, you think the war, you think the Marine thing happens before the One Piece, don't you?
Yes.
I'm the opposite. Go ahead. I don't know about you, Matt.
I think it's gonna be after One Piece, and like I think like the world government would be like, okay, we're fighting. I think it's gonna be after Blackbeard. I think it's gonna be Blackbeard and Luffy on Raftel fighting for the One Piece, whatever the treasure may be. And then after that, like the Marines are just be like surrounded or like, because I think they know where the location is. They just choose not to be there.
I don't think they know the location.
But that's
it's hidden by the 4 road poneglyphs.
But you don't think they've written it down because they're the ones who, I mean,
no, the government didn't do anything with poneglyphs. They don't like poneglyphs. It was the ancient kingdoms that wrote poneglyphs, and to get them, you have to find them, and to find them, you have to get to Big Mom's territory, Kaido's territory, Fishman Island, and then we don't know what the 4th one is. But we think Shanks might have it. We don't know what the 4th one is, but we know.
I thought we had.
Sorry,
I thought it might have been on Elbaf.
One was on Zoe, one was on Fishman Island, one was Big Mom's, one was Kaido's. But the one that was on Fishman Island is no longer there. They don't know where it's at anymore because Luffy and them have the other 3. They have Zoe. They have
Big Mom's because
they have Big Mom's. They have Zoe's. I don't think they have Kaido's, but they'll get Kaido's.
No, I think they have Kaido's now.
But the one that was on Fishman Island is the one that no one knows where it's at anymore because it's not there anymore.
That was a Joy Boy letter, right?
His wasn't the rogue one. The Joy Boy letter is still there. It was beside Joy Boy's letter because Joy Boy wrote his letter on the gold poneglyph, and the road poneglyphs were red. And when they got there again, the red one was gone, and they didn't know where the red one's at. Okay. So someone moved it. People think Whitebeard, because remember that was Whitebeard's territory. So people think Whitebeard could have moved it. Maybe Blackbeard has it now because Blackbeard took over a lot of Whitebeard's territories, and he could have known where it was. And after he, he could have done something. Maybe Shanks has it, like we were Tuan was saying. Who knows? But yeah, the government I don't think has any idea where Raftel is. Otherwise, they would probably destroy that shit.
Buster call it.
Yeah, because it tells the history. So that's the one thing they don't want known. So the easiest way to prevent that is you just destroy the shit.
Fun twist. Aim has it. The figure that we saw at the referee. That we don't know what the hell is going on there.
Sama.
Also, what the hell is going on with Sabo?
You guys saw that he was in the video or the one of those panels, right?
I don't think
I didn't see that. Go back to the posters where the news, like after Big News Morgan broke the news and people and showing people looking at the news articles. There's one, I think the one in the middle, the guy holding the newspaper in the middle of town, and the wall in the back, there's a poster of Sabo.
Right, let's see.
The one, let's see, Big News. When they're printing it, not the first page.
No, literally second page. So you see Big News Morgan, his panel. The next panel, where it says the bombshell news of the defeat of the Emperors, Big Mom and Kaido. If you look at that page,
you see half of his picture.
Panel. Yep, there's Sabo. And if you go down to the color spread pages on TCB scans, if you go down to the color page scans, you can see it's him. You see the hat, the color scheme. It's Sabo.
Yeah, I can tell it's him, but yeah.
Page.
We don't know what that is.
Yeah.
That's got some importance to it. Oh man. But that's enough of that. That's a bunch of side stories we're talking about. If you are watching on YouTube, guys, we appreciate you dropping in. Be sure to tell your friends and your family about us. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Also follow us on our other social media. We're on Instagram as The Anime Feast, on TikTok, Twitter. It's another platform. I'm blanking.
Instagram?
I did Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and we're on YouTube now. But The Anime Feast. Be sure to follow us. Tell your friends and family about us. Share us with everybody else. And tell us what you all thought of the raid on Onigashima. Did you think it was going to succeed? Did you think it was going to fail? Anything else? We'd love to hear from you guys, and we can't wait to talk to you guys more about what's to come. The story's going to enter its last saga. We're finally going to get to the end of One Piece. It's going to be sad, but it's a long time coming. And until next time.
Stay hungry, my friends.
Peace.
Peace.